Mad. Chapter 2. John wakes up in a bed. In the bed next to him lies Ethan, who also survived the alien attack. A soldier enters the room. He introduces himself as Leon, the man who rescued them both. John is suspicious and has lots of questions for Leon. Leon leads John to his boss. On their way, they pass through a large shelter known as Jericho. For some reason, John stops in front of Passage 04. Leon stops him by telling him that the way doesn't go any further there. Shortly afterwards, John appears before the Colonel, who bears a slight resemblance to Steven Seagal. He asks Leon why he has brought John to him. Leon replies that John has doubts and he hopes the Colonel will allay them. The Colonel introduces himself as Norman and is in charge of the colony. John explains his concerns. In the past, he and his sister had joined a group that wanted to eat them both. Norman replies that if he wanted to eat John, he would have done so long ago. John tells the Colonel that his group had followed a signal, which was presumably sent by the colony. The Colonel replies that this had led 142 people to the colony. The Colonel presents himself as a savior whose destiny is to protect people from the demons. He asks John to trust him and hands him back over to Leon. Once John has returned to his room, Ethan wakes up and is immediately provided with a good meal by Leon. John expresses his gratitude to Leon. Leon welcomes the two of them into the family. Ethan goes so far as to call the place paradise. And so he relishes the meat served to him. John didn't want to start with meat at first, but he still ended up craving it. Ethan, however, devoured it all by himself. John fell asleep again, and when he woke up, he saw that Ethan was no longer there. He goes into the corridor and encounters a strange creature. End of chapter 2.